Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Recap Corner. Today, I've got a special treat for you, a recap of the movie Agent Demi-Human. Spoilers ahead. Be prepared, watch out, and take care. The plot of the film centers around a jinn, a novel breed of humans who possess immortality. These beings can endure any form of physical harm, and if they happen to perish, they will quickly regenerate. The first jinn was identified in South Africa 26 years prior, and since then, the Japanese government has set up the Jinn Management Committee to investigate and unravel the enigma surrounding them. At the beginning of the movie, we are introduced to a man named Nagai who perishes in a truck accident. However, to our surprise, he returns to life with all his wounds fully healed, indicating that he is, in fact, an jinn prior to the accident. Prior to the accident, Nagai was leading an ordinary life as a medical student in Tokyo, oblivious to the fact that he was an jinn. However, following the accident, the Jinn Management Committee, which is responsible for safeguarding a jinn, takes control of Nagai. Unfortunately, it is later revealed that instead of protecting him, the committee is subjecting Nagai to savage experiments. It becomes evident that the government has already conducted similar experiments on two other jinn prior to Nagai, and thus he is declared the third jinn. In the ensuing scene, we witness Nagai undergoing gruesome experiments at a research facility, while Tozaki, the head of the Jinn Management Committee, reports the ongoing research to the government. Tozaki orders the researchers to sever Nagai's arms and legs to investigate his regeneration process. Nagai, who is still unaware of his identity as an jinn, is traumatized by the brutal experiments inflicted upon him. He experiences excruciating pain and wonders why he is being subjected to such torment. Meanwhile, a government official inquires of Tozaki whether the third jinn experiment will yield successful results, given that the previous two attempts failed. The public believes that the government and Jinn Management Committee are protecting all three jinn, and the officer expresses concern about the situation. Tozaki reassures the officer that there is no cause for concern. However, two intruders, Sato and Tanaka, abruptly storm into the research lab, gunning down the guards. Sato looks straight into the surveillance camera and sends a message to Tozaki, informing him that he and Tanaka have arrived to rescue Nagai. Sato discloses that he had previously saved Tanaka from undergoing cruel experiments a few years back and warns Tozaki that things are going to be different this time. Upon hearing this, Tozaki orders the guards to use lethal anesthetics to stop Sato and Tanaka, but the two intruders engage in a physical altercation with the guards. One of the guards shoots Sato with a tranquilizer, but surprisingly, Sato slashes his own wrist and continues to fight. When he is shot again, Sato kills himself. However, he regenerates and comes back to life, revealing that he is also an jinn. It is now apparent that Sato and Tanaka were the two previous test subjects in the lab. A few moments later, Sato proceeds to kill the remaining guards and researchers as he frees Nagai. Afterward, Sato hands a gun to Nagai, requesting that he shoot the three remaining researchers. However, Nagai refuses to comply. In response, Sato kills one of the researchers himself to demonstrate how it's done. This infuriates Nagai, and he shoots Sato multiple times before fleeing with the remaining researchers. After regaining consciousness, Sato locates Nagai and the researchers. He swiftly kills the researchers and pursues Nagai, intending to kill him as Nagai has refused to kill humans and collaborate with other jinn. In the subsequent scene, Sato summons his black ghost, which is the essence and ability of a jinn from within himself. Suddenly, Nagai also unconsciously summons his black ghost, and when the two ghosts begin to clash, Nagai tries to flee. However, Sato, being faster and stronger than Nagai, catches up and stops him. Nonetheless, Nagai manages to use his black ghost to kill Sato and escape. Later, when Sato comes back to life, he and Tanaka confront the media reporters who have been waiting outside the research lab for the jinn update. Tanaka disguises himself as a crippled victim, and Sato takes him in front of the media. There, Sato reveals all the information about the inhuman experiments conducted by the Jinn Management Committee under the government's instructions. Following this, Sato also reveals their true identities and explains how he saved Tanaka from the government's clutches. He names a website that shows Tanaka being experimented on, even though they are immortal. Sato claims that despite being immortal, they have to go through extreme pain during the experiments. He demands civil rights for all Ajin and a special autonomous district for them. Soon, the news and the recording go viral everywhere. The next morning, Nagai arrives at a village where he meets an elderly woman who thinks he resembles her grandson. She invites him to rest at her house, and Nagai accepts. Meanwhile, Nagai's sister, Eriko, who is in the hospital, sees news of her brother on TV. Later, Azumi, Tozaki's assistant, asks Eriko about Nagai's location, but Eriko is unaware. Suddenly, Tanaka's black ghost attacks Azumi from outside the hospital. To everyone's surprise, Azumi is also a Najin, as her black ghost emerges from her body and battles Tanaka's ghost. After this revelation, Tanaka enters the hospital to abduct Eriko and attack Izumi. However, upon realizing they are surrounded by a large crowd, he retreats. In the following scene, Tozaki defends himself and the government during a press conference regarding Sato's accusations. He claims that Sato's statements are false and also insists that the recording is doctored. Meanwhile, Nagai continues to re-side with the elderly woman, assisting her with farm work. Later, upon hearing news about his sister Eriko on the radio, Nagai sneaks into the hospital and meets her on the roof. Concerned about the possibility of Otto and Tanaka attacking Eriko again, Nagai takes her to the old woman's house to ensure her safety. After a few days, Nagai trains rigorously to increase his speed and strength, and he also learns to control and harness the power of his black ghost. Meanwhile, Sato uploads a video in which he threatens the government and the public, stating that if his demands are not met, he and his associates will destroy the health ministry and the Ajin management committee. Additionally, he reaches out to all the Ajin living in secret from humans, inviting them to join the fight as he announces the date of the upcoming battle. After his announcement in the recording, after Sato makes his way outside the destroyed building, police surround him and shoot him continuously so that he doesn't get a chance to revive. Just then, Tanaka shoots at the police with a sniper from another building and distracts them, allowing Sato to resurrect. As soon as Sato comes back to life, he defeats all the police officers using his aging power. After Sato makes his announcement in the recording and makes his way outside the destroyed building, police surround him and open fire continuously to prevent him from reviving. At that moment, Tanaka shoots at the police with a sniper from another building, creating a distraction that allows Sato to revive himself. Once Sato returns to life, he uses his aging power to defeat all the police officers. Following his victory against the police officers, Sato uploads another video demanding the government and Tozaki to surrender Tokyo and evacuate the city within 2 days. If the demands are not met, Sato and his associates threaten to spread a poisonous gas throughout the city, causing a mass genocide. Elsewhere, Nagai and Eriko are forced to flee from the old woman's house after the villagers discover that Nagai is an Ajin and attempt to attack him. In the meantime, Tozaki contacts Sato and proposes to offer him North Hokkaido instead of Tokyo. However, Sato refuses the offer. Later, as Tozaki steps out of the building, he notices Nagai and the two have a conversation. Nagai offers to help protect the humans fighting against Sato and his associates in exchange for his sister's protection by the government. He also demands a new identity as a human. After Sato is defeated and left with no other options, Tozaki accepts Nagai's deal. Shortly after, Nagai prepares a strategy with Tozaki and other government officials to fight against Sato and his associates. Tanaka was a test subject for 4 years, while Sato endured experiments for 20 years, leading them to hate humans and want to protect other Ajin from cruelty. 2 days later, Sato and his team set out to attack the government. One of their companions infiltrates the building and successfully hacks into the government system. Meanwhile, Tanaka holds people hostage inside the building. Later, they move to release the poisonous gas, moving upwards through the building. While all of this is happening, Tozaki confronts the hacker and points a gun at him. However, Tanaka and his associates successfully reach the room where the gas is located. Suddenly, a black mist appears over the room, disturbing Tanaka and his men's vision. It turns out that Nagai spread the black mist through a vent using his black ghost. Taking advantage of this, the police manage to tranquilize Tanaka and his men. Sato is shown inside a woodworking shop when suddenly he revives himself from a severed hand that Tanaka had carried in his bag. This shocks Nagai and the police, and they quickly try to sedate him. Nagai and Sato engage in a fierce battle on the rooftop of the building where the poisonous gas is stored. Both of them use their black ghosts in the fight, creating a spectacular display of power. As the battle rages on between Nagai and Sato, Tozaki faces off against Tanaka with the help of Izumi. Despite the chaos, Tozaki manages to inject Tanaka with a tranquilizer, rendering him unconscious. Meanwhile, Nagai continues to impress Sato with his newfound fighting skills. Both of their ghosts fiercely battle it out, but the Tuojin remain determined to come out victorious. Rewritten. In a matter of weeks, Nagai manages to shoot Sato with a tranquilizer, but he loses his arm in the process. Although Sato is knocked out, his ghost is still active, killing Sato and bringing him back to life. Nagai is left devastated as he doesn't have the energy to continue fighting. As Sato approaches Nagai to kill him, a group of police officers suddenly arrive and use taser guns to freeze both Jin in place. The police then destroy their bodies, making it impossible for them to regenerate. In the final scene of the movie, Nagai's severed hand begins to regenerate, indicating that he is still alive. As soon as he revives, he jumps from the top of the building and escapes. This leaves his fate uncertain. Thank you for joining us into our review. We hope you had as much fun watching it as we did breaking it down for you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a video from us.